Good afternoon and welcome from Steinway & Sons. My name is David Slan and I am the president of Steinway Piano Gallery for Washington, D.C. Today is a special day. We're very happy to have you here with us, and we're going to give you a virtual tour of the showroom and also the pianos that will be available for sale during our Lunar New Year event. So without further ado, what I'd like to do is start out by showing you individual pianos that I think you might be interested in hearing. Our first piano today is a 2012 Steinway Model A. It came from the Concert and Artist Department in New York, and here it is. So let's talk about what makes that piano special. First of all, the Model A is a 6 foot, 2.5 inch grand piano. It's a marvelous scale design. It has a beautiful tone to it. And this particular piano came from the concert department in New York. What does that mean? So this particular piano was used for concert rentals in the New York metropolitan area by some of the world's most famous pianists. It has been well cared for by Steinway's concert technicians and then shipped directly here to Washington, D.C. for sale. After our technicians went through it, we made it available for sale, and you can come and play it now. The advantage of this, of course, is that there are price savings on this piano compared to a new Steinway Model A. So the next piano that we are going to be showing you today is a 2003 Steinway Model L. The interesting thing about this piano, it was traded on a new Steinway grand piano, but it is in excellent shape and it has been very well cared for. So now, Dr. Bachman, if you would. So welcome back. I wanted to let everyone know that within the Zoom meeting, there's an area for chat where you can ask questions. And we've already had a couple of questions come in, which I'll answer after the next video. But feel free to ask any questions about the pianos you see or about pianos in general, and I will do my very best to answer them. The next piano that's on our list to look at is an upright piano. Now, the Steinway Model K, which is the piano we're about to see, most people would consider it to be the finest upright piano made today. And answer that. The question was, I'm in the market for a slightly used Steinway. Do you have any slightly used Steinways, and specifically, do you have any Model Bs or Model As? Well, as we saw, we do have a slightly used Model A, which you heard at the beginning of our program. But in addition to that, we have many slightly used pianos, both from our concert department and from New York's concert department. So right now, I do know that we have 3 slightly used Model Bs, we have 2 slightly used Model Os, and in addition to that, we have a variety of older Steinways that are used as well. These will come in a variety of price ranges, so whether you're interested in a brand new piano or whether you're interested in one that's slightly used or an older vintage model, all of those pianos are available. So I'll be answering more questions after the next piano. So the next piano actually is one of the pianos that we were just talking about. This is a Steinway Model B. This is a 7-foot piano. So this is actually Steinway's most popular model, the 7-foot piano. And this particular piano was played at the Kennedy Center and used in Steinway DC's concert department. It has a beautiful tone to it, extremely powerful. If you're looking for that type of sound, this is it. It has a very responsive touch, and I think after you listen to it, you'll agree with me. Welcome back. That was a wonderful sounding piano. Boy, I'll tell you what, it's pretty hard to beat a Steinway Model D, unless of course you want to go for a Model D concert grand. I should mention that although we're not going to be showing it today, we do actually have 2 Model D concert grand pianos available for sale. These were workhorses from our concert department. These pianos have been to the White House, to the Kennedy Center, to the Library of Congress. Quite a storied history. They've been played by some of the world's most famous pianists all over the Washington area. One of those pianos is in satin ebony and one of them is in polished ebony, and they will both be available next week for our event. So if you're looking for a larger piano, whether it be for your home or for an institution like a church or a school, these pianos will be priced very well because they're slightly older than the new pianos that we have. So now if I could, since we were looking at a Model B, what I'd like to do is actually talk a little bit about the piano that I am sitting next to. Now, some of you may have heard of this piano before. I like to call it the piano of the future. The piano that I'm sitting in front of right now is a Model B Spirio. And this particular Model B Spirio is the R model. You can see on the fall board it says Spirio, and this particular one says Model R. The Model R, in addition to being able to play back, it also has the ability to record. So for those of you who do not know what Spirio is, I'm going to give you a quick synopsis, and then I'm going to stop talking and let you hear what it sounds like. So the Spirio is the world's finest high-resolution player piano. What exactly does that mean, and what does that mean to someone who purchases this piano? So first of all, every Steinway Spirio, of course, is a Steinway. So this Model B, when you play it, doesn't play, sound, or feel any different than a normal Steinway Model B. However, it has some special features on it, and that is that it is a high-resolution player piano. So what that means is that every individual note has the ability to play at 1,020 different volume levels, and all three of the pedals, when they play back, can play back at 256 different gradients. Well, no human hand and no human foot can actually discern that many differences in tone or volume or pressure. So when the Spirio plays back something that has been recorded on it, what that means is the piano plays back literally exactly the way it was recorded. In addition to that, through Steinway's magical technology, they have figured out how to take historical recordings of some of the great legendary pianists and be able to convert them to Spirio language. So you would actually have the ability to listen to some of the greatest performances of all time. And what I'm going to do to demonstrate this is to show you one of those historical performances. Steinway has also matched those performances with the video. So what we're going to do right now is you're going to hear the Spirio play back a performance from Vladimir Horowitz at his Moscow concert, and you're going to be able to see the video of that performance, which we have hooked up to our big screen TV. So here we go. Hopefully our audio will be good. Let us know if anything doesn't sound right, but it should sound great. So here is Vladimir Horowitz. So I have to say that I never had the opportunity to hear Horowitz play live. I've heard all of his recordings, but to hear him play live on a Steinway grand piano, just as he did when he played in Moscow, is truly an exhilarating experience. The other thing that I think that is really wonderful is that it memorializes our current Steinway artists. And I'm going to play one more piece here for you with someone that you may be familiar with. I'm going to stop it a little bit into it so that it doesn't take too long. But one of our finest artists currently today is Yuzha Wang. She plays, of course, all over the world, including here in Washington at the Kennedy Center. And we did a video with her and also of her playing this particular piece, and you will also see the video up on the big screen. So here is Yuzha Wang. You get the idea. So our folks at Steinway, this is actually kind of a funny line. Our folks at Steinway have not found anyone yet who has been able to play faster than the Spirio can record it. And they said that Yuzha is the person who they use for that test, because if it can keep up with Yuzha, it can pretty much keep up with anybody. We did get a question that came in, and I'm going to answer that because it does refer to the Spirio model. Someone asks, does the Spirio record and how does that work? Okay, so this is the R model, which does have the ability to record. Very, very simple to do. There is a little button on the Spirio application where you go to recording and you hit record. It says preparing to record. And all you have to do then is push the little red button in the left corner, and what it will do is it will in fact record at that point. So whatever you play, we stop, we save, we call it something. And then we can go back and we can play it. Thing about the record capability is that if you have a student at home, or if you have someone that's playing the piano at your home that's a wonderful pianist that you want to save their performance, you can do that. It will save the performance in Spirio language, which means that it will recognize 1,020 different volume levels, 256 different gradients on the pedals. In addition to that, you have the ability to convert that file into an MP3 file, which is an audio file. And so, for example, if you were to have a party at your home, someone that you would have come and play at the party, and then they would you would record them. You could then send an MP3 file by email of the entire performance to your friends, or of course you could do the same thing with a student. If you have a student that's practicing their recital piece, you could record it, you could save it, and you could send it to all your friends and family and relatives if you wanted to. I can also tell you that many of the institutions that we are dealing with, because of the situation with in-person learning being a challenge, are actually using this type of technology to do things like auditions. We actually had a competition that was all done virtually, where all the performances were sent in electronically, and then they were judged on a Spirio Model DR. I think that answers the question about that. Someone did ask, they said they're interested in the Spirio and how much does it cost? So for those of you that have questions about pricing, because there are a lot of different models, there's standard play models in both the 5'7" and the 7-foot. They come in a lot of different finishes. You can also get it in the Model R. What we would like you to do for inquiries about pricing on this, please get a hold of Jenny Hung, who is our managing director. And on the landing page for our Lunar New Year event, it has her phone number and also her email. But if you need it, it's 877-577-4266 or jhung@steinwaypianodc.com. So now we're going to get back to looking at the actual inventory, and I think that the next piano that we have is a Steinway Model A, which is a 6'2", and this actually is a newer piano. But we're going to take a listen to it and see what it sounds like. Dr. Bachman? Welcome back. Doesn't that piano sound beautiful? I happen to like that particular piano. It's got a beautiful sound, and would love to have you come take a look at it. So we actually had 3 questions come in. The first question was, how do you make appointments to see the pianos? Right now, as you probably know, we are by appointment only for the safety of our staff and also for our clients. So you can schedule an appointment where you will be the only people in the store along with our representative. We all wear personal protective equipment. We clean pianos in between the times that they're being played. We have HEPA filters built into our HVAC system, and we've gone to great lengths to make sure that both you and our staff are very safe. So if you have a piano that you're interested in seeing, please contact Jenny Hung, and she will arrange to make a scheduled appointment with you where you can be here all by yourself in the safety of our showroom. The other question that we have is, because we have some older Steinways and newer Steinways, the question was, what is the difference between old Steinways and new Steinways? And so the answer to that question is that the pianos that were made 20 or 30 or 50 or 70 years ago by Steinway were the finest pianos that you could buy at that time. But the pianos that are being made today are far superior in terms of the quality of the materials, the technology that goes into making them, the ability to be able to have quality control from the machinery that's available today. And if you talk to the pianists, the concert pianists who play these pianos for a living, they will tell you that the very best Steinway piano ever made is the one that was made yesterday, because Steinway continually improves the quality of their pianos. That's not to say that older Steinways are not good for their time, and at the price that you can purchase an older Steinway for, that may be the piano that's right for you. But it's definitely worth your time to try the new Steinways because they are spectacular. So I'm going to get to the next question after we show the next piano. So some of you may be looking for more of an entry-level piano. And so the next piano that we're going to show is one of the piano series that is designed by Steinway. So, of course, the Steinway & Sons piano that's made in New York, handmade, is the world's finest piano. But in addition to that, Steinway also makes the Essex piano and the Boston piano. These pianos, we like to say, are the absolute best production pianos made in the world today. Of course, the Steinway is handmade in New York. These pianos are mass-produced overseas. We consider them to be the very finest of that type of piano available today. So the piano that we're going to look at right now is the Essex Baby Grand. It's 5 feet 1 inches in length, and it has many of the features that you would find on a traditional Steinway piano. It has a low tension scale, it has a Steinway geometry in its action, it has a wide tail design, and for the price point that it's in, it is definitely the best piano that you can buy. So Dr. Bachman, if you could, the Essex Baby Grand piano. Didn't that sound beautiful? It's just a great value for the money, and for those of you that are looking for more of an entry-level piano, that would be a great choice. Now, the next piano that we're going to look at is the big brother of the Essex Baby Grand. It's an extremely popular piano among institutions. I think that what we find with this particular piano, this is called the Boston model GP178. It's a 5 foot 10.5 inch grand piano. Just to let you in on the jargon, 178 is the number of millimeters in length it is. Now, the length of a piano is measured from the front of the keyboard to the back of the rim. So if you were to measure the model GP178 that you're going to see from right at the front of the keyboard to the back of the rim, it will measure out to 178 centimeters or 5 foot 10.5 inches. This particular piano is extremely well regarded by universities. There are many universities that may not want to spend the money for like a vocal studio or a practice room that would be used for people who are not piano majors. They might like a piano that would be a little less expensive than a Steinway piano. And so that is where the Boston GP178 comes in. We recently had an order a couple of years ago for 26 of these that went to an area university. And I think for those of you who are looking for a very high quality grand piano and maybe on your way to getting a Steinway later on, the Boston GP178 would definitely fit the bill. Dr. Bachman, if you would, the GP178. So I would like to thank Dr. Matthew Bachman, who is our pianist in each of these videos. I think you'll agree with me that his money was well spent getting his PhD at the University of Maryland, College Park. He's quite a pianist, and his assistance here has been greatly appreciated. Before I go on to the next piano, you know, on these late night TV commercials, they always say, "And there's more." Well, I wanted to save one little thing on the Spirio for the middle of our presentation. There's a new feature that is available on the Model Rs that actually isn't even public yet. Steinway has not announced it publicly. They haven't enabled the feature on any of the pianos right now. But what we have is an actual demonstration of what Steinway calls SpirioCast. What SpirioCast means is that because the Spirio language has the ability to be able to be transmitted over the internet, what that means is that there can be a concert in a remote location, say for example in New York or at the Kennedy Center or in Los Angeles or in Shanghai. And if it is played on a Spirio Model R, it has the ability to broadcast that concert live and in real time on your Spirio in your living room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate that actually happening. So you're not only going to be able to hear the piano being played, but you're going to see the person who's playing the piano talking to you about what they're playing, and then the piano will actually play. So this has the ability to not only do concerts, but you could have two-way communication and have a master class, or you could sit in on a master class that someone at a university was playing, and you could kind of be in the back row being able to listen to all that happening. Another interesting feature with the Spirio cast is that if you have a Spirio Model R, you have the ability to be able to broadcast publicly anything that's being played on your piano. So in this particular case, you can't see it on the screen because we're not close enough, but there's a little calendar over here on the left. And so what Steinway will be doing as the SpirioCast becomes available is on your application, on your iPad, the calendar for the concerts or for events that are coming up that are going to be SpirioCast will be listed in your application. And then if you want to, you can just tune in to that broadcast. Your TV or your iPad will be able to see the video and the audio, and your piano will play exactly what's being played on the piano that's being performed on. So what we're going to see here now is a gentleman named DeVell Crawford, who is one of our Steinway artists, and I'm going to show you what it would be like if in fact you were listening in to DeVell Crawford talking about Aretha Franklin and the way she played piano. So here it is.
Aretha Franklin and her music, you really can't classify, you can't put it into one particular genre because she did everything. Whatever she did, it was filled with soul. And that's why we call her the Queen of Soul. Aretha Franklin sang everything from Bacharach stuff to Ahmet Ertegun's original to Ashford and Simpson. I love everything Aretha Franklin's ever done. She was a great piano player, great rhythm piano player. You know, this groove. Filled with so much soul and gospel.
So I'm going to stop there, but of course, some of the things that you can do with this, of course, we're learning from DeVell Crawford how Aretha Franklin played that type of rhythm piano. So we can then, after watching him, so I learned from DeVell Crawford the way Aretha Franklin played the piano. And of course, we have a number of other examples of this SpirioCast. We have Jeremy Denk doing a master class where he talks about a particular classical piece of music and how he interprets it. But imagine the idea of being able to, in the comfort of your home and safety of your own home, to be able to listen to live concerts in real time from anywhere in the world, or be able to broadcast your own concerts to everybody who owns a Spirio anywhere in the world. So that's and there's more. I'm going to go back now to the pianos that we have available. And I should say, of course, that these are not all the pianos we have available. As you saw in that video of our showroom at the beginning, there's about, in our showroom, I'm going to guess about 80 or 85 pianos right now, probably $7 million worth of inventory total. We're going to be looking at about 10 of those pianos. We just kind of gave you a sampling of the pianos that are available, but please do contact us for more details about all the pianos that are available. So the next piano that we have available, or that we're going to be showing, is an upright piano. This is called the Boston UP132. And the Boston UP132 is a professional upright piano. It's the same size as the Model K Steinway, but it is a Boston, so the pricing on it is much more agreeable. This, again, is another piano that's extremely popular with universities and schools because it has a luscious sound to it. It's got a beautiful action, but the pricing is very attractive. So now we're going to hear Dr. Bachman playing on the Boston 52-inch UP132. So my question list has been updated. A couple of these are quick answers. Question was, do you take trade-ins? The answer is yes, we love trade-ins, as you can tell by the fact that we have some of them for sale. Contact Jenny Hung and she will be able to tell you what its value would be against any of the pianos that we have here at the showroom. The question also came in, how do Boston and Essex pianos compare to other pianos in their price range? Good question. So there are a lot of good pianos out there. We happen to think that the Boston and the Essex pianos are the finest production pianos that are available today, because when we judge a piano, we say what pianos are most like a Steinway piano. And the pianos that are most like a Steinway piano are the Boston and the Essex pianos. I won't go into all of the reasons for that, but if you were to come in and play them, I think you would see the difference between those pianos and other pianos that would be in a similar price range. The third question that I have is, I want to get a M Spirio for Valentine's Day. What is your delivery time, and do you have any special financing? Well, that's pretty specific. Okay, so the answer is yes, you can get a Model M Spirio for Valentine's Day. We do have them in stock. The delivery time from when you purchase the piano to when it's actually delivered to your home is approximately 3 to 4 days. But sometimes it can go faster than that. It just depends upon what the need is. We've had a call from the White House before at 8 o'clock at night, and we had to have a piano there at 8 o'clock the next morning. So if we can do that for the White House, I suppose we can do it for anyone. And as far as the special financing goes, yes, we do have special financing. It varies depending upon the piano that you're looking at, but there is interest-free financing at various levels depending upon the piano that you're looking at. And then I guess this kind of goes hand in hand. For those of you who looked at the landing page for our Lunar New Year event, we do have special red envelopes with savings depending upon the piano that you purchase. Again, you can ask Jenny Hung about those questions. I'm going to look and see if we have any more questions. Dr. Bachman, do we have any more questions that we need to answer? Okay, I think we've answered all the questions. What I would like to do to end our session today is to thank you for being with us, and I'd like to finish up with a solo from Glenn Gould on the Model B Spirio. And again, thank you for joining us. Be safe, be healthy, and thank you for being with us at Steinway.